Hey everybody, how are you? It's Jose from Beyond Food Market. Hey guys, I've got a story to share with you. So guys, what I'm about to share with you is my 51 hours in custody of the Cook County Police System in Chicago. So guys, let's do what happens. Pretty crazy. All right, get a fruit smoothie going, some chia seeds, hemp seeds. You know, I'm feeling great. Slam that bad boy, jump on the bike. I take off, get a good morning workout because I'm going to get ready to watch the game, right? Super Bowl Sunday. Can Brady be like Jordan? That's what I was going to find out. So I'm taking my ride. I go 13 miles. I used to work at Export Fitness in Logan Square. So that's 13 miles there, 13 miles back. It's like a marathon. I do that three to four times a week. I take off. I get to the Export, turn around, start heading back, jump onto Kedzie, and I'm passing by Lake in Kedzie. Now, on Lake in Kedzie is a brand new, the hatchery. It's a brand new facility, $30 million facility. It's an incubator, small business incubator. Driving past, checking it out. I was like looking, I was like, oh, wonderful, wonderful. I turn my head, pedal for a little bit longer, and next thing you know, whoop, blurped up. Cops go like jump out, like, hey, excuse me, sir, how are you? By the way, just want to let you know you can't be riding on the sidewalk. Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Oh, he said you can only ride on the sidewalk if you have a child. I'm not gonna fuck with you. It's cool, but before you leave, what's your name? And I'm like, no problem. I have nothing on my record. So I said Jose Rojas. Then I gave him my date of birth. He goes, hold on a second, let me just check something. He runs it through. I start talking to his partner, which ended up being like a really nice guy, really cool guy. So when he comes back, they're like, Jose, you got a warrant. I'm like, what? I have a warrant. Now, I kind of wasn't shocked because I think something might have happened when I got a traffic stop a year and a half ago in June. When I got the traffic stop, they actually started this whole process that we're on now because I was like, fuck this. I need something better. But anyway, let's go back. He's like, yeah, you got a warrant out in Bedford Park. I'm like, all right, well, okay. So they start searching me and checking everything. And they're like, man, Jose, you have nothing. I'm like, yeah, I told you I was working out, dude. So they jump in the car. They take my bike. Then they put my bag. And I can jump in another vehicle. We arrive at the station. And then they throw me in the cell. And another dude walks in. His name's Charles. Great guy. And he's like, man, I was counting my money. And they just rolled up and took me into jail. I was like, so I didn't really ask really much like his situation. But anyway, so we're in the jail. They had cut up my pants, all strings. If you walk into a police jail, all strings of your garment, gone, cut, or they take them off. This is my personal experience of my 51 hours in the Cook County Police System of Chicago. The next step after getting taken to the police station is they start doing the processing. So you get in there, they do all the fingerprints. They have a machine. You're fingerprinted up. They're like all side everything, the works. And then they offer you a meal. Like, would you like a meal? All we have is bread and meat. And I'm like, do you have any fruit? And they're like, no. I was like, okay, no, thank you. So my fasting started then. It started like 9:30. So it was, I don't know, it was probably like maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock by the time I'm in it. They pulled me over at 10:30. It was 10:30 in the morning. So by this time, it's probably like 1 o'clock, I'm in the cell. And all I was thinking was like, God, I just really wanted to see if Brady was going to get 6 rings. So I couldn't do that. I had smoked some marijuana, so, felt okay. And then that's it. Then it was just concrete bench, like an L-shaped bench, and this, 1 inch thin mattress. I wouldn't say it was comfortable, but it was a mattress. It was really cold, and I even had a jacket. And so after that, 6 o'clock in the morning, they wake me up like, Jose, actually they check on you like twice. Like, what's your name? What's your last name? What's your last name? So they check on you twice during the night. They wake you up like, oh, what's your name? Tell them your name. Then at 6 in the morning, I got moved to another room with another inmate because I don't know what happened. But an hour later, then we're getting shipped out. Now what happens is all the people from all the jails, and they they process them. It's called processing in Chicago. They get processed in Cook County. So you have to go down 2600 South California Avenue in Chicago. And that's a processing facility and also a jail. So in the morning, everybody gets in this paddy wagon, like from all the jails that they collected. And we're all in there. It's packed. It was okay. The heat, it was cool. It was a nice little ride. Everybody's sleeping. Everybody's tired. And we finally get to Cook County. We finally get 26th Street. He made a couple other stops we picked up and they dropped off. And so we finally get to 26th Street, which is Cook County Jail. So we arrived in Cook County Jail, I would say around, 9 a.m. perhaps. So we walk into the jail. They line us up. They start, and we're handcuffed. We're handcuffed to a buddy. We got handcuffed to the buddy. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, they search you like 4 times before you even walk out the door. So now we finally have arrived at Cook County Jail. So they line us up, and each one of us, one by one, goes in through this full body scanner. It scans your entire body. It scans your whole body. You stand there, it's like this, and then it's just like across your whole body. Now there's a screen, you can see it. It like scans like your brain, your lungs, all your bones, everything. It was like, what? And then after that, they put us across into another room. So after that, they call your name. They call your number, like Rojas, like what's your number? We're taking all the 300s. There's mine. Mine's 311. The next step from this part is you go and find out what's going on with your situation. They call your name, you go to the lady in the counter, and then she just breaks it down for you. Woo, woo, woo. This is what's happening. This is what you need to do. Ask you some questions. She does everything. You can ask her stuff like, what about this situation? What is the timeline? What can I do to fix this? So she lets you know. Then after that, we got sent back to the previous room. Now we wait there for another 30 minutes. Now, probably by this time it's probably 11 o'clock. So then they take us to another room. They'll handcuff us. They walk us to this facility. It's a large facility. So we're walking to this facility, handcuffed with our partner. They handcuff you every time they transport you. You're never not handcuffed. The only time that you're not handcuffed is when you go see the lawyer. But the whole time you're handcuffed. So now that we know what's happening, we get sent back to the room, and then we go to another room. Now then we get to this room, and they feed us again, and you get fed 4 slices of bread and bologna. So guys, I just stayed away from that food. I just didn't want to eat it. So now we know what the situation is. Everybody knows what's going on with the case. Everybody knows what's happening with the case, what they need to do, what's going to happen next. So we wait in this room for like an hour. Now here, we're actually going to go meet the public attorney. And then from there, we're going to see the judge right there. So it's a 1 o'clock court. So after this, they take the numbers. They take, 300 or what they want to take. Now that they call the numbers, it's time to go upstairs. So we go upstairs, we take an elevator, and then we go to another room. And then we get locked in there for like 30, 45 minutes to an hour. Then the public defender comes in there, and it's a small room. It's small. It's probably like 10 by 10. And I don't know, maybe like 10 dudes. So the public defender comes in, says, okay, guys, let's talk really quick. This is your case. This is what's going on with this. This is you. And from hearing some of the things, like, there's some crazy shit with the laws. But anyway, I think every state has situations like that. And so just hearing people's stories and what's happening, it was just some of the stories that you hear, then you kind of pull at your heart. Like, you're like, man, that's fucked up. So what happens is then we get lined up. Once the judge is ready to see us, it's 1 o'clock, right? So now we're ready to go. So we line up in the hall to tell us what we're going to do. We literally walk into the courtroom. Like, we're like right here. It's like you're on deck. It's like, next. I mean, you're like you are literally walking in and seeing it just for like 5-10 seconds and walking out, because the public defender kind of already told us what was going to happen. I mean, I wish I could have been like, hey judge, can I get I-bonded out? I mean, I wanted to say something, but nothing came out. I was kind of like, what am I going to say? I don't know. So it's like you're on deck. You get the next dude lines up. He's like, all right, next. And he comes out. Next. And he comes out. Next. I'm like, what the fuck? So I walk in, I'm like, hi, are you Jose? I'm like, what's your name? Jose Rojas? And the judge looks at me, he's like, you're Jose? I'm like, yes. So then she's like, $300 bail? I'm like, yes. Okay, next. And I'm like, what the? That was fast. So we go back to the room and we hang out there for like another, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then they get us, and then we go back to the original room that we were at. And so what's next? More food. 4 slices of bread, 4 slices of bologna. There you go. Mustard. Now after that, we stay there for like another hour. So by this time, it's probably like 4 o'clock, 3:30ish. And then we get handcuffed and we get transported to another room. It's just a cell of like a black bars, like a bird cage. And then they walk us through this path, winding path, through the whole facility. Because now we've gone through the court, we've seen the judge, and now we're gonna be processed. Here's the next step. This is when you take your street clothes off and put in the DOC, Department of Corrections outfit. You know, sometimes you see it in orange. Well, this one was like Army fatigue tan. So we go upstairs, they throw you in a room, again, another room. So now we're in the processing center. So the first thing we do is we go in there, sign some paperwork, give them our ID, tell them our number. Like, this was my ID. This is how you were identified. This number. So this is the number. And you get a little bracelet. That's how you're identified. Then we go get our clothes. Like, okay, take all your shit off, take all your clothes, get naked, put this on. You can only have like underwear, no t-shirt, just a shirt. So underwear, pants, and a shirt. Again, guys, this is my experience. Everybody's experience is different. So once we have our uniform, then we go to the phone. You get a phone, they get your phone, they say, repeat your name. They go beep, and then you say your name, Jose Rojas. They're like, do it again, Jose Rojas, do it again, Jose. So it's a voice recognition. When you make a phone call, it must recognize your voice and then your one phone call. So if it doesn't recognize your voice, you're pretty screwed. Here's a tip, guys. Make sure you really speak clearly. There was a gentleman there who the system could not recognize his voice. And speak loudly and clearly and enunciate. That'd be my pro tip, guys. There's your pro tip. Then you walk around, and then they do a body scan again. So now the body scan's done. So now I get off of that, and then we go on to the next room. Now this room holds us until we go to the medical part of it, where they're gonna do your blood pressure, they're gonna check your records, check if you've got Obamacare. That's what I have. I have the free healthcare. So they ask you that, then you go back in the room. The next part, now that they know your insurance and whatnot, you're gonna get processed further. So I go to the next stage. They check my blood pressure, ask some questions. They said, hey, do you want to let us give you medication in case you get hurt? And I had first signed it, and I was like, no. On second thought, no. And I cleared that out. I was like, no, don't give me any medication. I think I denied the medical. I didn't have to go to the next step. So then I came back to the room. Okay, so now we're just hanging out in this room. Like, okay, cool, what's next? So after that, after we've done the medical stuff, the next step is a chest x-ray. So they line us all up, take us in a room, give us the paperwork, and all the time you've got to repeat your name, you've got to say your name, you've got to check, you've got to say your name. At like every station, you've got to say your name, date of birth, in that order. We're ready for a chest x-ray. So we stand in line, chest up against the machine, like don't breathe, hold your breath, and they do the scan. Then we line up, and now it's finally phone call time. Yep, you get to make a phone call. So we line us all up, we go downstairs, and what's next? Food. 4 slices of bread, 4 slices of bologna. Here you go, guys. And they put us in a room. Now this room has about six phones, and it seemed like maybe 4 were working properly. So some people were making phone calls, and there was a large portion of people who couldn't make phone calls because they didn't know anybody's number. You had to know someone's number. You have no access to your phone. You have nothing you have nothing. So we've been there for about an hour and a half, and the next step is going to another room. It's like kind of the room before you go sleep. So by this time it's like 7:30. Now this room we get to watch some television, finally get to relax and chill. But in this room, it's like the air conditioner was on, like the vent was there, cold air was coming out of there. So that sucked. Everybody was like, oh, freezing, I was cold, hands. It was cold. It was very cold. So now it's coming to around 10:30, 11-ish. The third shift's coming in. And now it's the next stage. The next stage is getting us to the rooms. So now we're gonna get some sleep. So everybody gets outside, they grab a jacket, a DLC jacket, and then we go from this building to another building. We go up the stairs, go into a room. It's a lot of bunk beds, 2 strips. It's like an army kind of like bunk bed, but a little bit bigger room. It has a bathroom, no curtain, so there's like a makeshift curtain around it. Showers are all exposed. Everything's exposed. You can't even take a dump somewhere privately. This one you did because they had a makeshift kind of like curtain. So we get up there, go use the facilities, thank you. Take a shower, feeling great. The soap was very, very dry. Stung the heck out of my eyes. So I feel good, it's night, it's really nice and warm in here. You got a mattress, a blanket. Finally, the first time you're gonna have a good night's sleep. Go to sleep, beautiful. Wake up around 6 o'clock, tapping me, breakfast. 4 slices of bread, graham cracker, jelly, strawberry jelly, and cookies in like a cookie pack, a 4-pack of cookies. So that was a great breakfast. I did not eat that. And now people are starting to wake up. So there's some people that, go to the shower, use the restroom, walk around. There's people cleaning. It's like everybody's doing what they got to do. And a lot of people are still sleeping in bed. I'm laying in bed too. I go down there. There's a book there. Start reading a book. It was pretty good. I forgot the book. What was it called? Living Your Life's Purpose or something like that. It's interesting. So after that, I kind of like nap a little bit, and it's around, we get served, and now I've got to tell you guys, and now we get served lunch. So what's lunch? 4 slices of bread, 4 slices of bologna, mustard, and a juice. So some people were microwaving their bologna, some people were not. It's around 1 o'clock, 1:30. And they're like, Rojas. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah. Like, no, get your stuff. And I was like, Mom came to bail me out. Thank you, Mom, love you. So now I get bailed out. So now the process begins. Me and another dude, we go downstairs to another room. Then from that room, an officer comes, gets us. So now we walk down the hall, go into a room, sign some paperwork. They ask for your ID, your name, every time. Now we finally got all our things. So I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, wonderful, beautiful. We just change right there. Just take my clothes off, put my old clothes on, leave that in there, go outside. We go to the last clerk that's going to be speaking with you. So now we're here, speaking to the lady. She's telling us about when our next court date is. This is the paperwork you need to walk out of the facility. Without this paperwork, you cannot leave the facility. So it's very important. Did that. Then we got escorted out to the front, maneuvered our way to the front, got outside, and that's it. That was my 51 hours in the Cook County, Chicago police system. It was interesting to say the least. But good experience. It's just to see how the whole system is when they call it processing. You're going for processing. That's what it was, just processing. They know everything about you. They scan you and everything. So there you guys. Hope you enjoyed the story. If you got anything to add, or if you want to follow along or comment, you know where to go, down below. Thank you guys for listening, and appreciate it. Have a good day.